Well, nobody expected that. The Santiago Bernabeu, a fortress that has witnessed countless magical nights and legendary comebacks, was left in stunned silence. The home of Real Madrid, a club synonymous with European dominance, was supposed to be an impenetrable stronghold. Yet on this unforgettable night, it was Arsenal who wrote their own chapter in football history, leaving fans and pundits alike absolutely speechless. Arsenal, little old Arsenal, went to the Bernabeu with the odds stacked against them. The world expected a routine win for Madrid, but the Gunners arrived with a quiet confidence, a steely determination in their eyes. From the moment they stepped off the team bus, you could sense something special was brewing. The players looked focused, the coaching staff calm but purposeful. They knew the magnitude of the challenge, but they also knew what they were capable of. And then, as the whistle blew, Arsenal turned the place upside down. The energy on the pitch was electric. Every pass, every tackle, every run was made with intent. The Gunners pressed high, refusing to be intimidated by the occasion or the crowd. When the first goal went in, you could feel the shock ripple through the stadium. Real Madrid fans, so used to seeing their team dominate, could hardly believe what they were witnessing. Real Madrid, the kings of Europe, were outplayed, outgunned, and outsmarted. Arsenal's attacking play was incisive, their defense resolute. Every time Madrid tried to mount a comeback, they were met with a wall of red shirts. The Gunners' second goal sent their travelling fans into delirium, and even when Madrid pulled one back, Arsenal never looked rattled. A 2-1 victory for the Gunners, and honestly, it could have been more. They created chance after chance, and if not for some heroic goalkeeping from Madrid, the scoreline might have been even more emphatic. This wasn't just a lucky win, this was a statement. Arteta's boys are for real, and they're here to play. The tactical discipline, the belief, the togetherness, every aspect of Arsenal's game was on display. Mikel Arteta, orchestrating from the sidelines, showed why he's considered one of the brightest young managers in the game. His game plan was executed to perfection, and his players responded with a performance that will be remembered for years. This was a performance full of grit, determination, and some beautiful football. From the first whistle to the last, Arsenal looked up for the challenge, and they thoroughly deserved their victory. The defenders put their bodies on the line, the midfielders controlled the tempo, and the forwards were relentless in their pursuit of goals. The goalkeeper made crucial saves at key moments, ensuring that Madrid never found their rhythm. It was a complete team effort, the kind of display that makes you believe anything is possible in football. Believe me, this one will be talked about for years to come. Arsenal's triumph at the Bernabeu is more than just a win. It's a moment that will inspire future generations of Gunners. It's a reminder that on any given night, with the right mix of courage, skill, and belief, even the biggest giants can be toppled. The football world will remember this night, and so will every Arsenal fan who dared to dream. Let's be honest, going into this match, everyone and their nan thought Real Madrid would walk all over Arsenal. The atmosphere was electric, but the expectation was clear. This was supposed to be a routine win for the Spanish giants. The Bernabeu was buzzing with confidence, and you could feel it in the air. Fans, pundits, even the bookies had already written Arsenal off before a single ball had been kicked. The pre-match talk was all about how many goals Real would score, not if they would win. Every conversation, every headline, every stat pointed to a comfortable night for Los Blancos. The experts on TV were debating whether it would be 3, 4, or even 5 goals. Nobody was talking about Arsenal's chances. It was all about damage limitation for the Gunners. Pundits were predicting a comfortable victory for Los Blancos. Some even went as far as to say Arsenal would be lucky to get out of Madrid without being embarrassed. The narrative was set. This was a mismatch, a David versus Goliath story where Goliath was expected to win with ease. Social media was flooded with memes about Arsenal getting thrashed. The banter was relentless. Jokes about Arsenal needing a miracle, memes of goalkeepers in full armour, and endless predictions of a whitewash. It felt like the whole footballing world was in on the joke, and Arsenal were the punchline. Even the most optimistic Gooners were hoping for a draw, at best. You could see it in their faces, nervous smiles, hopeful glances, and a sense of resignation. For many, just avoiding humiliation would have been enough. The odds were stacked against them, and everyone knew it. Oh, how wrong we all were. This Arsenal team has a new swagger, a new belief, and it showed. From the first whistle, they played with a confidence and intensity that caught everyone off guard. They pressed high, moved the ball quickly, and looked like they belonged on this stage. It wasn't just luck or a fluke. This was a team on a mission, determined to prove the doubters wrong. They didn't just beat Real Madrid, they outplayed them in their own backyard. Every pass, every tackle, every run was full of purpose. The Gunners silenced the Bernabeu, leaving the home fans and players in disbelief. It was a performance that will be talked about for years, a night when Arsenal rewrote the script and showed the world what they're truly capable of. This wasn't a fluke. This was a footballing lesson. Arsenal came to Madrid as underdogs and left as giants, reminding everyone that in football anything is possible. The doubters have been silenced, and a new chapter has begun for the Gunners. Nobody saw this coming, but now, nobody will ever forget it. From the very first whistle, Arsenal set the tone for the match with an aggressive, high-octane press that immediately put Real Madrid on the back foot. The Gunners surged forward with relentless energy, refusing to give the Spanish giants even a moment to settle on the ball. Every time a Real Madrid defender received possession, there were 2 or 3 Arsenal players closing in, cutting off passing lanes and forcing hurried decisions. The intensity was palpable, and it was clear that Arsenal had come to the Bernabeu with a clear plan: to disrupt Madrid's rhythm and dictate the tempo from the outset. This relentless pressure paid off almost immediately as Real Madrid's usually composed backline began to look rattled. Passes went astray, and Arsenal's midfielders pounced on every loose ball. The Gunners' pressing forced Madrid into uncharacteristic mistakes, with several turnovers in dangerous areas. It was a sight to behold. Arsenal's hunger and determination were on full display, and the Madrid crowd grew restless as their team struggled to cope. The tactical battle in midfield was especially fascinating. Arsenal's trio worked in perfect harmony, communicating constantly and shifting as a unit to close down space. Real Madrid's creative players, who are usually so influential, found themselves crowded out and unable to dictate play. The Gunners' discipline and organisation were a testament to the meticulous preparation that had gone into this match. It was, without a doubt, a tactical masterclass from Mikel Arteta. The Arsenal manager was a constant presence on the touchline, barking instructions and urging his players to maintain their intensity. Every detail had been considered, from the way Arsenal pressed as a unit to the quick transitions when they won the ball back. Arteta's fingerprints were all over this performance, and his players responded with total commitment. You could see that Arteta had done his homework. His players executed the game plan to perfection, sticking to their roles and supporting each other at every turn. The communication on the pitch was constant, with senior players like Odegaard and Gabriel organising their teammates and keeping everyone focused. Arteta's applause from the technical area was well deserved. This was a team playing with purpose and unity. The breakthrough came early, and it was a goal that summed up everything good about Arsenal's approach. After winning the ball high up the pitch, the Gunners launched a slick, one-touch passing move that sliced through the Madrid defence. The ball found its way to Bukayo Saka, who showed incredible composure to slot it past the goalkeeper. The away end erupted, and Saka's celebration was filled with joy and relief. It was a statement of intent. Arsenal were here to win. That goal seemed to lift the entire team. Suddenly, every Arsenal player was playing with their head held high, brimming with confidence. The passing became crisper, the movement sharper, and the belief was evident in every action. You could sense that the players were feeding off each other's energy, growing in stature with every minute. They looked fearless, unafraid of the occasion or the reputation of their opponents. The atmosphere in the stadium shifted. While the Madrid supporters grew anxious, the travelling Arsenal fans could be heard singing louder, sensing that something special was unfolding. The Gunners continued to push forward, creating more chances and keeping Madrid pinned back in their own half. But Real Madrid, as always, found a way back into the game. Just before halftime, they managed to carve out an equaliser against the run of play. It was a blow, but what stood out was Arsenal's response. There was no panic, no heads dropping. Instead, the players gathered together, regrouped, and reminded each other of the plan. Their resilience was impressive. They refused to let the setback affect their focus. As the second half began, Arsenal came out with renewed determination. They took the game to Real Madrid, pressing even higher and attacking with real intent. The Gunners surged forward in waves, combining quick passing with intelligent movement off the ball. Every player seemed to know exactly where to be, and the Madrid defence was stretched to its limits. Martin Odegaard, in particular, was at the heart of everything. The former Madrid man pulled the strings in midfield, dictating the tempo and finding pockets of space to exploit. His vision and creativity opened up opportunities for his teammates, and you could sense that a breakthrough was coming. The winning goal, when it arrived, was a thing of pure beauty. It started deep in Arsenal's own half, with a series of quick, incisive passes that moved the ball up the pitch at lightning speed. The move involved almost every outfield player, culminating in a perfectly weighted pass to Odegaard, who finished with a stunning strike into the top corner. The celebration that followed was wild. Players and fans alike knew they had witnessed something special. The final 20 minutes were a true test of Arsenal's character. Real Madrid threw everything forward, desperate to find an equaliser. The Gunners were forced to dig deep, defending with grit and determination. Aaron Ramsdale produced a series of crucial saves, showing incredible reflexes and composure under pressure. Gabriel Magalhaes was immense at the back, making vital clearances and organising the defence. Every block, every tackle, every save was cheered by the travelling fans, who sensed just how much this meant. On the sidelines, the tension was almost unbearable. Arteta paced nervously, urging his players to stay focused and see out the result. The substitutes watched anxiously, ready to spring into action if called upon. It was a collective effort, with every member of the squad playing their part in those nervy final moments. And then finally, the referee blew the final whistle. The relief and joy were overwhelming. Arsenal's players collapsed to the turf in celebration, embracing each other and saluting the travelling fans who had made the journey to Madrid. It was a night to remember, a performance full of courage, discipline and belief. For Arsenal, this was more than just a win. It was a statement to the rest of Europe that they belong on the biggest stage. Martin Odegaard was unplayable. He ran the show in midfield, dictating the tempo and creating chance after chance. Scoring the winning goal against his former club was just the icing on the cake. And what about Bukayo Saka? He was a constant threat down that right-hand side, giving Ferland Mendy nightmares all night long. His goal was well taken, but it was his all-around performance that really impressed me. These two youngsters are the future of Arsenal Football Club. They were absolutely fearless against Real Madrid's star-studded lineup, and they showed the world what they're capable of. Real Madrid just didn't turn up. They looked lethargic, and their midfield was completely overrun. Kroos and Modric, who are normally so dominant, couldn't get a foothold in the game. Without Benzema leading the line, Real Madrid lacked a focal point in attack. Vinicius Jr. tried his best, but he couldn't do it all on his own. Defensively, Real Madrid looked shaky all night. David Alaba and Eder Militao, who are normally so solid, were caught out of position time and time again. This wasn't the Real Madrid we're used to seeing. Arsenal Twitter was in absolute meltdown after the game. Memes, GIFs and celebratory messages instantly flooded the platform. It's safe to say that the Gooners were truly enjoying themselves tonight. Even Piers Morgan crawled out of his cave just to celebrate the victory. Maybe, just maybe, he's finally ready to jump back on the Arsenal bandwagon. The win sent shockwaves throughout the entire football world. Everyone was talking about Arsenal's incredible performance. It's not every day you see Real Madrid get outplayed like that on such a stage. The Emirates dream is alive. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's just one game, and there's a long way to go in the season. But you can't help but get excited after a performance like that. This Arsenal team is different. They have a swagger, a belief that we haven't seen in years. They're not afraid of anyone, and they're playing with a smile on their faces. The Emirates dream is alive and well. Can Arsenal go all the way this season? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. Was this just a one-off, or is this the start of something special for Arsenal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.